I'm the Headless Headhunter. I'm a corporate recruiter here to get you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resume. So the resume we have up first is a front-end developer or a software engineer front-end. There's 1,000 different names for this, but basically front-end dev. This person, we do not know their ratio, but what we're going to be looking at is JavaScript, React, Angular, JS, HTML, CSS, PHP, SQL, Scrum, Agile, RESTful APIs, SEO, WordPress, Git, Docker, Jira, Vue, Next, and any extra languages such as Cloud, UI, UX, SASS, and TypeScript. So I did a meet or yeet on this, and the answer to it was yeet, but it's actually a lot closer of a yeet than you would think. So there are a couple of problems with this, and the biggest issue primarily is just there's like nothing here. It's okay to do a boot camp, right? That's totally fine. But they didn't really tell me what they did during it, right? So you have this is okay. I would put this below your boot camp experience, but I think it's actually okay to have like Eagle Scout because it shows you do stuff like that. And I actually think these are really solid. It just, they should be after. But you do want to include dates when you do this. So we really do want the dates for this because the months. Anytime you include a date in your resume besides your education or certificate, you need the months because otherwise they're going to assume it's much less than it is. So for this, build a responsive photo sharing app using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That's actually fantastic. That's the exact type of bullet point I would want. Used Git and GitHub for collaboration and version tracking. Also fantastic. The problem is there's nothing else beyond that. So I said you need about 75% to move forward from this list of minimum qualifications. I found JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and Git. I did not see anything else. So Vite, I don't really care about. Cypress, I don't really care about. My dog is asking for pets off in the corner. And I just need more, right? Like that's kind of my problem is there's just not a lot here. I need to know that you used like PHP. I need to know that you've done SQL. I need to know that you've done maybe RESTful APIs, maybe some SEO specifically for WordPress, for Docker, for Jira, for Vue, for Next. So you wrote this correct. You wrote this almost correct. I would like to know why you did this, so the reason or result, but this one is fine. I just need more. That's my biggest issue is there's nothing here. So use this format, okay? Please, these are the formats I want you to use. They are on my website. They are free. Download them, fix them. They're going to be amazing, I assure you. And your resume should look like this, okay? I want it to look a bit like this. So in this case, you'd have your work history here. This would be the projects. And then under that, you would then have like, you would have Eagle Scout and then your bar job. So this is what I would want to see. But I need a little bit more because I could not move you forward for only 4 things. I need 75% of this, and I just did not find it. So please comment below what you have issues with, how you need help, and I would be glad to answer and help them. Subscribe, hit that bell, and if you need more help, join me on my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. PST, where I go over this kind of stuff at twitch.tv. I will never remember it. The link's below. I'm seeing a man break down in real time because he can't remember any of the things. Twitch.tv/headless-headhunter. And then let's go to the next resume. This is a data science intern. So for an internship, you don't need a ton. Also, this person stated they were a data science/data analyst. I will tell you they are slightly different qualifications. So I would, in fact, create a data science intern resume and a data analyst intern resume because they are slightly different qualifications. And this person seems to have a pretty good ratio, but they wanted me to roast the, words I cannot say to be advertising friendly. So I'm going to tear this resume from nape to navel and let's see what it is. But again, for internships, we're not really looking for a ton. It's just the degree, Python, Java, or R, or maybe some other coding languages. Skibbity learn, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Pandas, NumPy, SQL, Excel, and can work well with others and take criticism. That's basically it. Internships don't require a ton. Everybody kind of over-engineers their internship resume, and they usually forget this one. So let's see what this is. I actually think this has an okay ratio as a 1 to 50, which for an intern is pretty solid. But so this does not need to be this long. Also, they fully dox themselves, so shame. That is what I am going to roast you on. Stop writing your full number when you submit it to me and along with name and address. I do not need that. Please, this gets shown publicly. Stop putting that. I don't want to miss something and have somebody get doxed. So this should not be this long. It needs to be 1 line max. And yeah, 1 line max. And nothing here should be bolded. This skill sections do not count. Again, you really should just delete skill sections. I do not think they matter. And then this, don't have this giant underline. Make it look like this. This is plain and basic and boring for a reason. Do not make this all fancy and flashy. You want your resume to look like oatmeal. That's it. It should be plain and boring. That's its purpose, is to be plain and boring. When your stomach's upset, you eat something plain and boring, and that is what recruiters want. We want something plain and boring, not flashy and fancy like this. So this should not be bolded. Nothing here should be bolded. This should be 1 line and italicized, and then this... What? How is this written with the deploy scalable fuzzy matching? So SQL is okay. This is way overly complicated. It has too many percentages. Proved entity resolution. Okay, but there's not, I'm not looking for this, right? Like, I'm not looking for entity resolution and seller family records and Jaro-Winkler similarity. I don't know what those mean. I am looking for your experience just using Python, Java, and R, for using scikit-learn or skibbity-learn. I hate that name so much. TensorFlow, PyTorch, Pandas, NumPy, SQL, Excel, and you can work well with others. That is not what I'm looking at here. I don't care that you've overflooped the pig by 12% in a hyper velocity time chamber with Goku. None of that matters. This matters. These are what matter. ETL, I do not need. You know what? I think, do I need ETL in a data scientist? There's actually everybody puts ETL, and not a lot of people need it. For a data engineer, you need it, and a ServiceNow developer, you need it. But I don't think you really need it for a data scientist. So that doesn't matter. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, but this is solid. So automated log for JavaScript, and I don't care about Apache. See, I hate reading this. Your resume causes me physical pain. It's physically painful to read this. So fix your formatting. Make it boring. Resumes are oatmeal. They are not a 3-course meal. They are boring oatmeal. You don't even want to put cinnamon on it or raisins. It's just oatmeal. It's plain. It's boring. It's basic rice with nothing else. That's how you want to write it. And then I just need this stuff, which you have a little bit down here. But the rest of it I don't see. So this is not a resume I would be able to move forward with. Again, you almost have the stuff. It's just a nightmare to read. Oh, there's Pandas and NumPy down at the bottom, and skibbity learn. It's just you don't show it in the first part. So fix your formatting. Write what I actually care about, which is this. Okay, I actually care about this. I don't care about the rest of it. And I need something of how you can work well with others and take criticism. That is critical for an intern. The amount of internships that lose their internship because they are completely toxic and don't use deodorant is more than you would think. And you need to show that you use deodorant. I would not write a bullet point that says use deodorant every day because that would be a little sus. But that is an extreme example, but that's the point. So I could not move forward with this resume. I am roasting it as per your instructions, and you have the bones here too. Like, I don't think you need to redo all of it either. You have the bones of something good. It's just there's so much here that you can't find it. Because remember, my Meet or Yeet series shows how much time we have. And I would challenge you to find this, somebody who is non-technical, to find this in 15 to 20 seconds. Because remember, does not count here. Skill sections don't count. Has to be under a job, an internship, or a project. And you have to show me how or the reason and the reason or result. And I do not see that. So if you cut out half of your resume and fix the formatting, I would assume, have a much better chance of getting a position. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of I don't know. This person said they were looking for a backend developer job, but backend developer jobs are not a job title. A backend dev job would be Java backend or Python backend or like C#.net backend. So this person stated that they have gotten no interviews, which is really not good. If you've gotten no interviews, I would definitely check your contact information. But let's see, they have not been able to land an internship, which is okay. I mean, not everybody's going to be able to land one. They are very competitive. So that's all I really know about this, and that is a bit of a problem. So, software engineer resumes are always going to be stack focused. Now, I'm not saying you need to be a master at that stack. You do not have to be, I'm the best Java developer in the world. No, we just need your resume to be focused. In fact, a entry-level person that just graduated and is entry-level could, in fact, have 5 separate resumes that are all focused on different stacks. So, full, front, back Java, back, I guess, .NET is more common than C now, and back Python. So, those are the 5. I cannot count. Those are the 5 that you would want to do. So the reason you're not getting anything is you're not focused. And remember, I'm not telling you that you need to focus for the rest of your career. I'm just saying you need to focus your resume entirely on those particular projects. So your formatting is off as well. This should be one line. This should be deleted. I don't really care. You should definitely put, if you are a citizen, and your location right here, you do want to put your citizenship status. And let's see, that should not be bolded. The skill sections don't matter. Again, that could be safely deleted. These need to be in your bullet points. And you also messed up because these are like every single one besides Java. If you list everything, it's not focused. And then you immediately do a Java one on the first here, so that's kind of weird. So developed a full compiler to diminished infrastructure. So here's a problem. We have Java and C and nothing else. Flex, nothing here I care about. Again, it should not be bolded. Nothing here I don't care about. Unity. So are you trying to be a game dev? Because you don't need Unity unless you're going for like game dev. And maybe there's a couple of other niches, but this has nothing. Okay, and then Python. So now you've listed every primary language, but none of the other things that I would need for them. And JavaScript. Yeah, you basically, weirdly enough, you kind of did the reverse of what most people do. Most people assume that we know that, which we don't, and then they put all the other stuff but not the actual languages. Here you put the languages, but you listed all of them and nothing else. So the first thing you're going to need to do is pick a stack. I have the keywords for all of those except .NET. I just don't get a lot of .NET resumes, so I haven't had the chance to actually look for those types of positions. But in the comments below, you can let me know if you are looking for full front backend Java, backend Python, or backend C#, and I can give you the keywords for all of those except C#. So just let me know in the comments, and I'd be glad to give you the list. But that is why this resume is failing, and it's not just a formatting issue, it's just there's nothing here. And I can give you, like, any of these, like, as an example, you have Java, so I'm just going to go with Java. Oh, wait, no, I do have .NET Developer. Never mind. I actually have the .NET Developer keywords right over there, or qualifications. So I lied to you all, and I'm sorry. I'm going to make a apology video about how I was incorrect. Where did I go? I do have Java here. Let me at least show you, because I think it's important to know. So if you are going for Java backend, what I would need is this, right? So most software engineer resumes, except for front end, are going to need like RESTful API and cloud. But for backend Java, I'm going to need Java, I'm going to need Spring, I'm going to need Spring Boot, I'm going to need SQL and RESTful API, which are in most of them. I'm going to need microservices, which are not in the others as much. I'm going to need OOP, I'm going to need Git and any other APIs you have, along with cloud and the word architecting. And a bonus would be this stuff. So the problem is you only have Java. I am missing the rest of this. Which I realize cannot be highlighted. I'm missing the rest of this stuff, the rest of that. And if these are the minimum qualifications, so remember, I'm going to start referring to them that because I try to refer to them as keywords for everybody else's benefit, but I feel like it's just causing more confusion. So these are the qualifications. If you do not have the minimum qualifications, you are not qualified for the role. This is the stuff that we are going to be looking for, and it needs to be here, at least for Java. So let me know if you want the others in the keywords and the other qualifications, and I can give them to you, and I do have .NET. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a GPU software engineer, not a backend developer, GPU software engineer. So this person had a previous resume and they did some reformatting, but decided to keep the skills section in the beginning. Why? Why would you do that? I am very against skill sections. That they are hurting your chances. I don't know why you would take my advice and keep the skill section in. You should not. Keep the skills section in. Utilize the resume performance for internships and full-time roles. Okay, so first off, internship roles are going to be different than full-time roles. Those are different resumes. So I'm not judging this at all on internships. I'm judging this entirely on full-time. And this person, I previously reviewed them in episode 165. I think they were the second or third resume of that video. So if you want to see the previous one, check 165. Not where my hands are pointing, because I don't know how to do that editing yet. But what we're going to be looking for is C, C++, Python, GPU, compute systems, CUDA, Kubernetes, UML, debugging, LLVM, OpenCL, Vulkan, and Linux. And I'm actually not 100% sure these are still correct, because this person, there's so many jobs that could be considered a GPU engineer, so we need to break it down into more specific niches, and I did not get enough information. I do know this person has a ratio of 75-1, assuming that's accurate, so their resume is not doing too hot, so that's like a D- resume, a D-. So let's see what we can find. All right, formatting is not good. This should be one line. And you don't need, you've got honors list. You have a Tau scholar. I don't know if you need this. Oh, wait, you do, because you haven't graduated yet. So this should be one line. This should be, try to fit into one line, maybe two. If you can't, that's okay. And then nothing here should be bolded or italicized. You need to delete the skills sections. Again, I don't care that you list them here. I want to be very clear. The reason skills sections don't work is because if I do not see these qualifications in here, it does not matter. I need to see how you use them in the reason or result. If you do not show me how you use them in the reason or result, it doesn't count. Hence, a skill section is irrelevant. So you could list all the skills or none of the skills up here. It won't matter because it's not going to count. So, React framework, nothing here. Small team to application features. Okay, there's nothing here. Interface with SQL database, nothing here. Circuits, okay, nothing here. Here we go. Synthetic computer vision using C++, good. Floor plans for PyTorch. Here's CUDA. Or cut, I don't know. I've like barely heard this word before. So this doesn't work because there's like nothing here. This is why you can't have this, because these need to be here and this is empty. I don't know what you've done. It's also possible that you're not looking for a GPU engineer and these are the wrong keywords, but again, I don't know because you were not specific. So this is all I can do. I know there's going to be short, and these have been 2 short ones, but you need to give me more information. I need to know more about what you're looking for. A broad resume is a bad resume. We want them to be very focused, and I don't see these, right? Like, I don't see any of these except for Python all the way at the bottom and CUDA. Or no, that was PyTorch. So yeah, there's like nothing here. You need to completely redo this. I don't know why you kept the skill section, because these are what I would be looking for, but it doesn't count because they have to be here. And as a side note, this is why you get recruiters saying you need a skill section, but it doesn't matter, is because the skill section is not for the recruiter, right? Sorry, the skill section gets past a recruiter, but it won't get past the hiring manager. So it doesn't matter. You want to show the recruiter your keywords and qualifications in the first sentences. under a job because that's how the hiring manager wants it. And it doesn't matter if you get past the recruiter and get rejected by the hiring manager. I try to coach my advice that is relevant for both the recruiter and the hiring manager. And the skills section is actually something that a lot of baby recruiters need, or people that are not super always trained in it, or, you know, but the managers don't like it. So don't put a skill section because it's going to lower your chances. At worst, at best, it is irrelevant. So please put these in here. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a data scientist. I had a little trouble reading this person. They said they are from Russia and relocated to the US. They've been working remotely on, and they want to apply in the US. And they said they may have actually had a 30 to 40 ratio of interviews, which is not bad. I understand English is not their first language. I'm just a little confused, and I want to make sure I can help them, because they also said data scientist, but these are ML engineers. So I'm a little confused about what I'm looking for, but for a data scientist, we're going to need your degree, Python, R, SQL, industry, help explain stuff that on technical, cloud, business analysis, modeling, business analytics, HCP, AI, Spark, skibidi-learn, pandas, NumPy, and Git. So, this is actually not the worst formatting. I know people probably I'm going to think it's trash. It's not great, but it's not the worst. I prefer it to look like this, but at least this is legible, and your education should, in fact, be at the top. Play favorites, interaction, SQL, okay, Python. This might be for ML engineer and not for a data scientist, and that might have been a mistake. So let me check for a machine learning engineer, because this is a little closer to a machine learning engineer. RESTful APIs, Python. Right, yeah, I don't know how to review this resume, I'll be honest. There's not enough information for me. This is the ML engineer stuff, and I don't know if this is what we're looking for. I also don't know where they're applying, and I don't know what they're doing here. So I am really sorry. I'm not sure how to help this person, because I don't think this resume has probably succeeded outside the US, and I don't know exactly what role they're having. Along with it, really your qualifications are going to change based on the country. Like if you're applying in the EU versus Russia versus the United States, those are going to be different. So I would recommend you switch to this format. This is what you want. It should look like this at the end of it. Because I'm not sure how to read this, because this does not look like a data scientist to me, or an ML engineer. I mean, the Power BI is good and the SQL is good. It just and the Python is. There's just a lot of extraneous stuff. So please answer in the comments below so I can help you a little bit more. Unfortunately, this was the last review of this episode, so please subscribe. I hope it was still helpful. Hit that bell. And if you need more help, you can always stop by my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I will see you in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search.